My name is Yolande Petty. My school is the Interdenominational Theological Center. Before I chose to go to ITC, I was a banker. And most of my life has been going either in retail banking or investment banking. It was fun. However, the call on my life was actually to people. And ITC gave me the opportunity to walk in my call. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and in Cleveland, Ohio, it snows. I don't like snow. No. The real reason, but the true reason that I chose to go to ITC was that it came recommended by someone that I use as a mentor, a person that I look up to, went to ITC and graduated. Then I found out that my spiritual father also went to ITC and graduated many, many years before that. Therefore, I said, let me look into the ITC and see what it's about. I planned to visit. I took my pastor and my husband. The staff was amazing. The faculty is awesome. The faculty actually, I learned about in Cleveland, Ohio. Some of them do DMin classes in Ohio. They teach DMin classes in Ohio. So they're renowned, and the education seemed awesome. Took a look at the curriculum, and it was great. I decided this is the place for me. And at the end of my visit, I wondered, is this somewhere where you can live and get educated? Or is this somewhere where you would have to do distance learning? I couldn't even imagine doing distance learning at the ITC, so I live on campus. There are at least 6 different denominations represented on the campus of ITC. They are the United Methodist, Christian Methodist, African Methodist, Baptist, Kojic, the Church of God in Christ. We have Pentecostal, we have Lutheran members, and we have those that are non-denominational. It's an awesome experience. We learn from each other, we glean from each other. Apart from learning our own church polity, your personal denominational polity, we are in class together all the time, and that I love that interaction. This semester, I would like to highlight as my favorite professor, Dr. Mark Lomax. Dr. Lomax has an Afrocentric view of preaching. He presents preaching in a manner in which I can see myself as a woman, I can see myself as African, I can see me in the Bible, I can see me in other sacred texts. I appreciate me for who I am, and I'm able to deliver a message to people like myself that want to see themselves and where they are in their relationship with God. I'm going to make an awesome change in this world. One of the things that I want to do is proceed with a PhD, and I'm looking at an option of philanthropy. I would like to bring wealth to meet economic brokenness, and at some point to offer that to people like myself who come from urban areas who are less fortunate and don't have the ability to go where they want for the quality of education that they want. I want to be clear on the type of people that live in our urban areas are not just black, they're not just Hispanic. We are multiracial and multicultural. So I have a love for all people. Any of God's people and all of God's creation are special to me. Therefore, I would like to reach out to the world, not just within the United States, but without the United States. But since I have to start somewhere, I'll start within the United States. Yes, I am. In addition to the rest of the world. So I'm not sure if that's where I will land and retire and, live my life out. I have not determined that yet. I do have a supportive husband who says wherever ministry calls, wherever God sends, we will go. The person that I would consider my rock is no longer with me, but it is an ancestor. I have an uncle whose name is Bishop Charles Henry Phillips. I go to the Phillips School of Theology at the ITC. Bishop Charles Henry Phillips is my great-great-great uncle. I wondered where my passion came from for ministry. I wondered where my passion for education came from. He was a medical doctor in addition to a THD. Therefore, when I found out that this was my uncle and I am at a school where my bloodline is being honored, I used that for all those I'm tired moments, all those moments that I wanted to give up. I would walk out into the hallway, look at that picture, and understand that I can't give up. I can't stop now. I have to reach my goal. I have to live out my destiny. So he, in that sense, is my rock and my support and encouragement at this time. Well, when I decided to go to seminary, and I was looking at various seminaries across the United States, my uncle, William Phillips, said, we got a family school. And I said, oh, okay. I didn't really pay attention to Uncle William in his 90s. So I said, oh, okay, he's just saying that most of my family went to a school, but that was not the case. Once I chose the ITC and I alerted my family that, hey, I'm going to school, this is for real, and this is where I'm going, he said, Uncle Charles Henry Phillips, that's your legacy. And once I found that out, I determined that I needed to look him up. I need to see what Charles Henry Phillips was all about. Who was Charles Henry Phillips before he was bishop? What did he do as bishop? How important was he to the church that they named a school after him? When I started digging and doing research, because as I always do, I'm so analytical, I found out that this is, in fact, my bloodline, and he was, in fact, a stickler for the education of Black Americans at the time. I would say to a prospective student or a current student who is determining whether ITC is the place for them, or to someone who's wondering if they should quit, don't quit. You cannot give up now. If God called you to this ministry, God will walk with you through this ministry. You've got to stick with it. The world needs you. The world needs a place like ITC where there's multicultural respect, there's multi-diversities represented on the campus. You learn from faculty and staff that have been all over the world. You have the opportunity to learn all over the world. You are needed in your Afrocentrism. You are necessary in the self that you are with all of your baggage that you might even think is negative. People need us. People need graduates. People need graduates of seminary. People need someone to talk to, counselors, teachers, attorneys. People to fight for social justice is very necessary. You'll get all the tools that you need here at the ITC, but whatever you want from ITC, you need to put something into ITC to ensure that you're getting the best quality of education that you could possibly get. Having a background in the banking industry, in the finance industry, also being a licensed tax preparer. What I can bring to the table of a congregation is a background that understands how the corporate side of church works, the administrative side, as well as the executive side. So one of the things that I would like to do is I would like to hold classes for individual personal economic growth, for individuals to understand taxes and tax laws and laws according to their states, whatever state that may be. In addition to understanding the corporate side of church administration, being able to make sound and valid decisions on behalf of the church financially, being able to offer advice from a place of knowledge to a finance committee, trustee, or steward board from the base of knowledge that I have as far as financing. Now, when you have that and you have a love for God and you have an affinity for the people, you can't go wrong, and your church has no choice but to grow. I think that the gift of Black theological education is Ubuntu as well as Sankofa. I am because you are, and I can only move forward by reaching back and pulling from my ancestors and my elders and giving forward to those that are coming behind me. That's what I feel that the gift of Black theological education is. I believe that is also a liberating experience, not just for me, but for all the lives that I will touch. I can get this through Afrocentrism at the Interdenominational Theological Center. I have also learned how to be a leader in my community from my school as well.